Good morning, traders. Before we begin, stay until the end because there will be a multiple choice quiz based on today's analysis to help you reinforce your understanding of liquidity, imbalances, and price action. If you find these daily breakdowns useful, consider subscribing for consistent XAUUSD analysis focused on structure, liquidity, and execution clarity. Now, let's get into the correct market context. The key shift today is that price has already taken out the previous day high, which means buy side liquidity above the level has been cleared. After taking that liquidity, the market is now finding support at today's value area low, which is a very important development. At the same time, we have a daily void formed from yesterday's price action, which adds another layer of context to today's structure. So right now the market is sitting at a point where we need to determine whether this is acceptance above PDH leading to continuation or simply a liquidity grab before a reversal back into the range. So let's break it down step by step. So step 1, as usual, is we mark the previous day high and the previous day low. We're marking the previous day low at 4967.75 and the previous day high at 5038.145. Today the key event is that the PDH has already been taken. When buy side liquidity is taken, the market often does one of two things. It continues higher if there is strong demand, or it reverses if the move was primarily liquidity driven. So the reaction after the PDH is critical. The fact that the price is currently holding below the PDH but being supported by the value area low suggests the market is for now accepting a price within this range rather than rejecting it. So we now look at the daily time frame. You can see that yesterday's move left a void, a daily void. Since this was a sell side void, it can act as resistance and push the market down. So let us mark this as a daily void. So a void is an area where the price moves quickly and inefficiently. These voids often act as magnets for price because the market tends to revisit them to rebalance them, which we can see that the market did and also took out the PDH. So if price starts moving lower, this daily void becomes a target for potential retracement, as we can see that it's doing right now. But if price continues to hold above and build structure, the market may delay filling it and instead continue expanding higher. So this void becomes a key directional reference. Below this means a potential draw on liquidity, and if it holds above this, it means a continuation of strength. While we can see it has taken the PDH and we can see a rejection that's forming. We now move on to the 4-hour to find any FVGs, and as you can see that there have not been any 4-hour FVGs that have formed. That being said, there is an older 4-hour FVG, which is the only other possible magnet on the 4-hour, right? It's a 4-hour CB. These zones help identify medium-term inefficiencies where price may react, but the price has already reacted to the PDH. So if the market continues higher, any 4-hour inefficiency below price, the market may remain unfilled because there is strong bearish momentum currently. It could move to the CB and move down. But now that the price is retracing, these zones can act as immediate targets during pullback. We now move on to the 1-hour chart. We first identify BCs and CBs on the previous day range. We can see one here, though it's been filled. We don't see any other. It's been a choppy day yesterday. That being said, you can see there was a CB here which has been filled, but you could consider this rebalanced, so this is no longer valid. So you can see that the market is in a very clean range, right? It's consolidating and it's not moving in any direction to actually see things through, to say which direction it can go in. The key observation here is that after taking the PDH, the market is now fallen below. You can see that 1 hour made, this was a liquidity, the PDH. It took liquidity and it rejected, and it made a 1 hour bearish engulf, right? This could be an important thing to keep in mind to understand if the market is going to continue down. At the same time, we want to monitor any 1 hour inefficiencies that may form or get filled, as these often guide short-term price movement. You can see that this candle closes in 11 minutes. This could be a CB, right? The market could retrace into it and continue down. But if price starts breaking structure and moving back up through the CB here, then we would have to be mindful. Otherwise, we can see that the next liquidity, there are 1 hour liquidities at these levels. So we should expect it to come down. We now move on to today's volume profile. As usual, we first start our volume profile. We have to remove this. So yesterday was Monday. So we start on Sunday. You have to be on UTC -5, right? Which is New York time. No, it is now UTC -4 after daylight saving. So we start at 1800 on Sunday until 1600 on Monday, right? This gives the previous day's levels. You can see the value area high, previous day's value area high at 26. The previous day's POC at around 13. And the previous day's value area low at 93. The most important observation right now is the price is being supported at today's value area low. You can see that the market is currently at the previous day's POC. That being said, it has not closed below it. The value area low represents the lower boundary of value, where buyers often step in when price trades at a discount. So we've marked yesterday's levels. That being said, let's make a fixed volume profile to today's movement, right? Started at 18 and this is a current, right? This is the current days. So the most important observation right now is prices being supported at today's value area low. If the value area low is at 98 and it is looking to be closing below the POC. The value area low represents the lower boundary of value, where buyers often step in when price trades at a discount. The fact that the price is holding right above the value area low and is moving towards it, it means that this could be the next liquidity or a level that you can consider, 4998.9. So the fact is that buyers are active at these levels. So the market could attempt to build value higher from this level, right? If this support holds, the market may rotate back towards the POC or the VH. POC is a fair value and the value area high is the upper boundary of value. However, if price breaks below the VAL, it would signal weakness and the market could move lower towards the PDL, right? So we need to see how the market behaves around this level, the POC level, right? Current today's POC, and let's see what it does over here too, right? So now we consider the major psychological levels. 5,000 has been a very, very heavily influencing level. You can see the number of times the market has been at that level and not been able to break in either direction, right? If it moves up, it comes back here, and if it moves down, it is moving back to the 5,000 level. So round numbers in gold act as a major liquidity magnet where traders place stops and pending orders. So when a psychological level aligns with a volume profile level or a previous day's liquidity zone, they become even more important. So today the key is watching how price reacts around the PDH. We can see that it's rejected from it. Today's POC, the current day POC, we need to see if it closes below, and any nearby psychological level, and the biggest psychological level right now is the 5,000 level, right? So putting everything together, PDH has been taken, so buy side liquidity is cleared. Price is holding below PDH with a 1 hour bearish engulf, which means that the market could move down. Price is around today's POC, which means this is a level we'll have to understand if the market accepts the price or rejects it. And a daily void exists above, which could act as a resistance. So the market is currently at a decision point. So the key scenarios today is that the buy side liquidity has been taken. So we need to see which liquidity the market is currently hunting, right? In closing, the market has taken the buy side liquidity above the PDH and is currently holding below it, and is coming towards the value area low. This suggests a short-term weakness, but the presence of the daily void is another contributing factor to push it down. So today is about watching whether the market shows acceptance above this POC or rejection back. Stay patient, stay disciplined, and let the market confirm direction around key liquidity levels. Have a nice day.